we got her tested and like her hormones are off. I'm like, of course she's a female dog. Her hormones are off. No wonder she's gained a little weight. We all have hormone problems. She has like some like itchy rashes.
All right. You're good?
Yep. Keyboard, mouse right here.
Yeah,
away.
hold over here.
Oh, yeah, you can even,
That's fine. I'll do it on.
oh, leave this whole.
I like to stand.
Okay. And just click this on here and really get this.
Are you gonna have anybody on here?
On the screen.
I don't really know. It's fine. All right, so I'm gonna have to log into all my stuff real quick.
Yeah, grain-free, gluten-free, and she just looked at it, and I'm like, And I also think she's a little depressed. Down her brother on the day. Yeah, he was 15. Right. So back on you, it's not.
It's not something.
Yeah, it's not you. It's just me.
In years,
You know, 13 and a half, old man.
did that come? Did he like, did he see an immigrant? Did he come with you? From New Zealand?
No,
Okay.
no, in here, no, he's not, but interesting. He was actually a girl, like the foster girl that lived with us for a while, found him on the side of the street. So she brought him home. She's like, you take in things, people, dogs,
Cool. You guys want to run?
ready.
All right. It's only going to be effective if it's useful. So I want to make it useful. So who wants to farm their neighborhood or has a neighborhood to farm?
But yeah, whatever you want to do, I'm willing to.
No, I'm like actually asking who wants to do their neighborhood.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Are you, or if it's going to be useful. Okay. So let's do yours. So I'm going to start with your address. So this is, you guys all know, I'm going to fly through here, but you guys know how to get to realist tax. Do you guys ever do this? Because this is the part I don't want to take for granted. I forget. You're logged into Matrix. Okay, but you've logged into the Matrix. You got to this screen. You clicked on the Matrix, and you're used to this, right?
Yes.
And so once you're here, you've clicked on the realist tax tab. Do you ever use realist tax at all? So I use this for.
Rare. Great.
So almost any time I want to stalk somebody or get information on their property, I use this tab. I think this is so much faster and easier, usually easier than RPR. RPR is great, and it's a tool that I just don't utilize enough. But I definitely think RPR's got most of the same functions. I use Realist because it's like on this screen already. It's right here. It's also the same information you will get when you search a property. So does anybody have a listing right now? Oh, this is like one of those that mouse moves super fast. 4410. So the only reason I'm bringing this up real quick is so Realist is the same one that it is this, right? So when we click here for the tax detail for your tax sheet, is you ever go to this one? This is pulling from the same place we do when we go to the Realist tax. And so to get that report, does that make sense? And so you can search instead of just going to that tax sheet if you've never done it already. So that's what that pulls up if you get that tax sheet on Myrtle. You can do the same thing from here if you just come to search. So say it wasn't a property that's listed, because right now we're going to use yours. What's your address?
Best. Buena, Buena. Vista. There it is.
Okay, so this is great. And the reason I wanted to do this is because if I hit, so don't forget, the biggest thing is you put it in here and you're like, I'm not seeing anything. You got to hit search. It doesn't do it automatic. So great. So this is your neighborhood, right? So if I want that tax report, I can just click here and I can get all your details about the property, just like you would if it was a listing, right? And that's what it's preparing right now. And normally when I'm farming a neighborhood, I'll keep this up. So I will. We're going to do this for you right now. The reason I like this is because this one's pretty straightforward, and it's just Lakeshore Place for the subdivision, right? You probably already knew that. However, I'm going to copy that. You'd be surprised. For example, I'll do the plateau. You used to live over in the plateau. Did you live by the plateau? You didn't. No. Who was that? There's a Paul. Paul used to live at the plateau. Anyway, like we have, like I try to farm the plateau because I have all the land all around it for sale. And so a lot of times I'll try to farm that area. Well, it'll be like the plateau subdivision in 4 different ways. It'll say it in 4 different ways, and you got to pull them all up if you want to be able to farm it.
This is also known as Silver Lake.
Right. Well, right. So we'll get there. So that's why I like to start here, because if you wanted to go directly around your neighborhood, this is where I go. So what I like to do here, sorry, I slow down here. That's yours. We're going to keep that. This was just a dummy property that I used to show. So we'll get rid of that for a minute. And that's get rid of that too. That's just all right. So once you're in here and I'm wanting to farm a neighborhood, meaning I really just want to, when I say farm, I always start farming by getting all of the addresses directly around the property that I want to farm. Or I'm going to create a list of properties in Realist we're going to go back here. My goal is to have check boxes on as many of these as that you want. You might just want, X out of this, you might just want the neighborhood directly around here, or you might want every one of them around here. And the reason I wanted to show you that is because, yes, I want that subdivision, which is what I'm going to do. When you go to my search, you can search. It doesn't like you. It just wanted to interrupt, but it's not fun. You're not going to offend anybody here. And so when I paste this, I can search for Lakeshore Place, and for some reason that's not popping up. This also happens.
Silver Lake.
Well, just a minute, be patient. You're probably right, and you're probably wrong.
That's so fair.
It's probably both. The problem is a lot of times you got to change the county. Is it Cass?
Yes.
It is Cass. Sometimes I got to make sure that I have my apply that. And we're going to come down here. Subdivisions. I like subdivisions, but obviously you can use, did I miss it?
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Select. And what did I say it was? I said Lakeshore Place or something like that. I know this is going to be part of the fun. I'll show you what happens if we just type Silver Lake. So this is Silver Lake. So this is a problem. If you just click Silver Lake, we're going to do it here. Actually, this is probably cleaner than I've seen it anywhere else. This actually has the lot numbers 1 through 56, which is fantastic. But if you don't click on those, you won't get them. So if I just click Silver Lake, we'll see if anything pops up on this map. I'm going to zoom out and then I hit search, remember? So that's what pops up. It didn't even hit your neighborhood. Right. And so you may not want to hit that neighborhood. If you do, great. But this is why I like to do this. And this is why I wanted to walk through this a little bit slower with everybody to see how easy this can be. It takes a little bit of time, but where did that go again? There we go. So select from list. So we do Silver Lake again. It's funny if I'm going to laugh if your property's not even in Silver Lake. Are you coming in?
Well,
Yeah. Have you done any of this before? Do you guys use Realist? Yeah, and so you can see what it's doing, right? You guys can get the concept pretty quick to find subdivisions. Yeah. So do you pull your address labels that way?
I go through my little subdivision around Adrian and I just click on all the addresses and write them down.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
So did you see what I just did? So this is no, no. So this will be super. This is gonna change your world. So I'm gonna go back here. Well, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, challenge accepted. All right, check this out. So what I did was I just started with an address. And I started with her address. And so that's why you're seeing her name here. But her address is over here. So the reason I pulled her address, her house is right here, right? I pulled her address primarily to get the subdivision. Because a lot of times the subdivision isn't how it's looking, because her subdivision isn't what she thinks it is, apparently, because she thinks it's Silver Creek.
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake, sorry.
Place, but nobody calls it that. That's
Right,
no-
except for the developer and whoever recorded it. And so, but Lakeshore Place is hard to find. And so, but what was neat is if you can pull subdivisions by going back to that map. And when you go to my search, when you click here, you can scroll down and search by subdivision. So, yeah. Like, I'm going to try Lakeshore real quick. I'll just put Lakeshore and see what happens. So what did we say it was? Lakeshore Place. So I can just click that one. And let's just hit apply. And then search. It might still have Silver Creek in here also, but boom, Silver Lake. So if you would have just searched Silver Lake, you wouldn't have found your property. But this, we just selected all of those just like that. See how much, this is all the reason I want to teach a class. So could be a very short class. But then from here, you probably know the thing is you can just print your labels. Click labels, and then I do show current owner. I eliminate duplicates, and then it'll ask you mixed capitals, use all capital letters, or mixed case, I use that. And then you can create that. I don't know if it'll happen on this computer, but right there, it's just printing your labels.
No.
And so now you just go get the labels that you need, and then you've just labeled everything. Handwriting's good.
Day. Like, I was like,
I had a 3-minute limit. I just that was the class useful? 3 minutes. But that's why I do that. So when I say GeoFarm, that's what I'll do with a GeoFarm whenever I'm trying to, and I will say, this is what I wanted to point out a little bit further. 113 is what it says here, right? It will come up a little bit less if you do, you're going to eliminate some duplicates and stuff like that. Some of the properties you won't use. But when you do bulk mail, this is something to note. If you get into the bulk mail, you have to have at least 200 for the same zip code. And so then I will just do the next thing. What I was showing earlier is maybe I do want to pick this, or maybe not that neighborhood I want to hit. Why are these houses right behind? They're not on there. They're not the same. I get that. But say you still wanted to hit them, then I just quickly jump on here, find out what subdivision they are. Lakeview Addition, reserve. Oh wait, that's, did you see it? There it is, Lakeview Addition. And so then you can come over and add, you got Lakeshore Place. You'll want to keep that. Lakeshore. You may have to do this on separate lists, but Lakeshore. So then you click it there, and then it was Addition, right? You see that on there anywhere? DD. It's not showing up, so you might have to play around with it a little bit. But my point is you can You could, so that's one way you can do things as well. There is another way that you can, I encourage you to play around with this a lot, and especially with this screen, this search screen here. Stop it. This mouse is being wanting to move too fast. Play around with this search because you can do it by zip code, and then you can also shrink it. We can do a polygon tool, right? So you could even do, so this is one of the things I just wanted to, so let's do this. And then like that, say, and then say we wanted to change, what's your zip code? Where's the zip code? I'm just trying to find it now. I thought there it is. Search multiple values and trade values. Click add button. I don't know why it's not. Oh, probably because I've got the subdivision in here. You may have to clear this. I don't know what's happening, but you can hit, if I go back and clear this, let's see if I can do it that way. The point is you can do this polygon tool as well. And so you could actually put a star around a neighborhood and go in and search it the same way, and it would populate, and then it'd populate by zip code.
Everything else.
Right. And so, well, we can play around with that even. I was trying to, I don't know why it's not working. Probably had to clear this, but I don't know why this thing's in the way. It's probably, clear that. You said, do you know one of them? One of yours? One word or two? It is 2 words. Yeah, so you've got a lot there. Deer Creek. So this is exactly why we struggle a lot of times, and this is a shortcut to know them. But a lot of times you can come in here and you'll click on 3 or 4 of these, and you'll find some you don't want. Don't forget to hit search. So this happens a lot of times. You've got some way down in Clinton, you've got some in Belton. You might, oh, see, they're bounced all over. But that's just the one those are the subdivisions I clicked on. Kind of, but once you're here, you can click on one of these, for example, let's just one that's out of the blue, and then just go to the report and see which subdivision it is. That way you know which one to remove from your list. If I can find it.
Oh, I think it's up at the
Should be right here at the top. Maybe. Gosh. Yeah, Deer Creek. Yeah. And then you could remove them here as well. So, and so that's how I start anything when I'm gonna do labels. Anything that I'm gonna be doing by hand, or if I'm gonna do mailers. Even when I do bulk mail, I like this, and this is the only reason I said this is time consuming. It's not the same as going to Command or any of those other tools where you can just type in a zip code or type in an address and then they send them for you. This saves a little bit of money because you can do it yourself. You can print labels now. And then what I do recommend is I screenshotted once I get the back. Once I have these search criteria where I want them, and so say I have that half a dozen subdivisions here, I do, what is it? Command Shift S, Control Shift S. I basically just screenshot this and I print it for myself and I keep a record of it. That way, next time you want to go back there, you just have them all, boom, boom, boom. So the first time takes a little bit of time because you have to find out which subdivisions you want for your exact geolocated area and then save them here. And then when you search them, this is a bad example because they're searched all over. but it'll all zoom, you can all zoom into one area. Can erase them by hand here. So. Probably that I haven't played with. I don't. Yeah, I guess you could. That's probably good. I've never done that. That would probably make a lot of sense. And so that's where I start. So I'm going to go back. We're going to do, where was this? That I used it. Oh, did I get rid of it? Oh, I was going to go back to your Lakeshore example. Lakeshore, right?
Yes, let her play.
Right. So if we just did Lakeshore Place, and then, so we can, I'm going to click on a whole bunch of these actually, because they're, any of them that have Lakeshore Place, I'll usually click on. And then this is what's kind of fun. And then I'll narrow it down from there. Plaza's not on there. Lakeshore, and so I'm doing this for Patricia here. Don't forget to hit search. This will clean things up for our example a little bit better, hopefully. So then they're all right here in this subdivision. So that pretty much nailed everything. We're still at 133 matches. So you can extend this, but so then from there, like I said, you can do email, you can labels, you can print. If you put print, it's going to print the whole map, which is kind of nice sometimes. Just it gets kind of confusing. But your labels is the best thing that I found on here. And so what I do is, oh no, it won't. No, I don't know what it does for email. Oh, you can send this to somebody else. So maybe you email this to yourself and save the email. Or from here, this is where I would do this screenshot and I'd get the map in with it just so I remembered where I'm at and I'd color that. That will save you guys a ton of time probably as far as your mailers go. I like it because I can see how many I'm sending out roughly. When it comes to labels, it'll change a little bit, like I said, but and then I mean that saves me a ton of time on that. It's a world changer. I use this. This is so if you want a good lead generation technique outside of, I got this. Lonnie didn't tell me to do it this way, but after Lonnie told me for if I wanted to find rentals, to go after people that have rentals that they may want to sell, you can do the same thing. This is kind of interesting. Let's just check. So when I print the labels on here, mixed case, use tax billing address, use property address. So I like to use tax billing, show current owner, eliminate duplicate labels. And then I'll create this. Now, the trick is for if it's a rental, is most of these are going to be, yeah. So if you see a street that's not on there, or you see a PO box, or you see something else, chances are it's a rental. Or you can look at the names, obviously, and if it's an LLC, it's probably a rental. Probably not a lot of rentals in that neighborhood, frankly, so you're probably not going to see a lot here. But that's a good trick because that was one of the neat things because I was trying to do that for the management company. I thought it was a great way because if I found somebody that was a rental, then I could go after them, try to get their information, go to quick people search or anything at that point, past people search, get their information, call them and say, hey, have you guys ever thought about selling? If not, we're also a property management company. We'd love to lease your property if you've had trouble with the rentals. And so that's a way that I was trying to capture information from both sides. I haven't done that to a high level yet, but that's something that I'm trying to develop as we grow our teams as well. But I think that is one of the easiest ways to do it. And if that doesn't work, then you can import this information, same names and everything. You could take those and export those over to whatever software you need to in order to, because you enable editing. And then you can send that to, maybe you upload all these addresses to the place that's just going to send them out digitally for you if you don't want to have to actually stamp them all and everything. But that was a really useful tool that I found. That's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to jump on this for a class. And like I said, I need at least 200 for mine. So I would probably come over here and, right here,
Because they all share the same HOA.
this one here.
On the left side, that whole Silver Lake part
Yep.
and Lake Shore share the pool HOA, so they think they're all the same.
The house you clicked on, I was like, oh, no, it's still.
So-
There's a house in that little one.
I know, I'm trying to,
It's old, super old, but.
right here.
I think it's-
Special needs of them.
Oh.
Riverfield.
That one right there, that real long round? Yeah. That's awesome. I'll drive through there and I just see it kind of
Yeah.
older and I'm like,
It's-
man, can you
It's
imagine the view
gorgeous,
in that place?
yeah.
That one does say Silver Lake. So if I pulled Silver Lake on top of that,
They all share the same. Because they're all the same HOA, they don't know the division.
and so that one, I can't remember if I can find different subdivisions at the same time. Select from list. Like if I wanted to add more to this, I think, yeah, they're all there. So then I think I can pull Silver Creek also.
Oh,
Silver Lake. Yeah, thanks. All right. Well, maybe you'll at least save some handwriting. So then I should be able to add these in.
Yeah, they're quick.
The problem is here, Silver Lake alone has, yeah, Silver Lane. Another trick that I did without telling you, instead of putting Silver Lake in there, I just put Silver and then it pulls up all of them. So if I add those, probably, again, don't forget to hit search because that's what's throwing me off here.
I was just doing that a minute ago.
There it is.
There.
So that's it. So that would be a great farming neighborhood right there. We just did it. There it is for you. 419 people, just pretty hefty. That's about $100 in postage, is what it comes down to. So if you were to, hit those people once a month or once every couple of months, that probably wouldn't hurt. You might stretch down here a little bit, or include this, but that's separate. But that's a great neighborhood. Yeah. And so let's try this. Let's just see what happens. What's your email?
Tricia, TRICIA, Henson, HENSON @KW.
See if this works. Realist report. I'll just call it farming. I didn't want to say silver because hers was. Yeah, I don't know if it will because my email is probably not tied to this computer. So we'll see what happens. It might have sent it through Realist. Curious. But at least then maybe it'll show all the subdivisions and it'll take a lot less work for you later if you want to just go and plug and play.
Oh, it came through.
Cool. See, I helped you. So if you want to farm that, you can subtract the ones you don't want to. Yeah, sweet. I do recommend when you print your labels, just save yourself some postage. Scroll through them real quick because a lot of times you'll have like the HOA on there. You don't want to send them the HOA, that kind of stuff. Sometimes you'll have weird things like this.
And to do.
Does it just show the picture?
Yeah.
What happens if you click on any of that stuff? It's not telling you anything about subdivisions or anything?
No.
Okay, well, that's a bummer.
No, it just downloads.
So this is where, if this was me, this is exactly what I would do. I'd come in here. This is just my cheat. I'd screenshot this. I would screenshot it to Silver Lake like that. And then I'd save that. And then I'd scroll down and get the rest of these and screenshot it. Even if I've got the last one twice. I would print that and throw it on my shelf or in my file, my paper file, just so that way when I pull up next time, or save search, which we can play around with. Search name, we're just going to call this, I will call it Silver Lake. Silver Lake and surrounding.
Don't you be snooping on my territory.
You're gonna get some in the mail. So then if I save this, then it's already saved. So I'm curious to know where that pops up
I
though.
was like, where do you find it?
That's the question. But if I go to search,
You just search it right there.
where?
Drop down right below where your mouse is.
Oh, right here. You're right. Oh yeah. Then hit search. It's there.
Go to that screen.
Yeah, so maybe you have several because I do. Like I have Madison Creek, I have the Plateau, places that I actively do often that I'm always. See, I learned something today too. I've never done the save button. It's because I've been in a hurry. Just funny, we get in a hurry and it takes us more time
That's
today.
right, and don't figure out the name,
Yeah,
or
so-
we just get a routine.
The next time the next time it won't be. So that's my tricks with Realist that I kind of wanted to work on. But what other questions you guys have? Because I'd like to, and again, I think, well, let's play around real quick.
Just again, and just
Yep.
do one part, but quickly go.
Well, I'm going to try something different, a little bit different here, because let's say you don't know the subdivisions, you don't want to do it that way.
Okay, got it.
So let's still do, read later. Let's still do realist tax. I'm going to show you guys a trick. Another trick. Let's do zip code, which we're going to have a lot probably. If you guys see it, let me know, because I feel like I passed it, but there it is. I will say that you only have like 10,000 searches or so, like things that you can do each month, which I've never ran through 10,000. 64083, but if I hit 64083 and populated it, it probably would. But instead, let's do 64083. Where's Silver Lake here? Right here, right?
You got something still. 400.
It's probably just pulling this. Yeah, but let's do this. And then on top of the 64083, let's do this polygon tool. So very similar, but maybe this will even be faster. Come on. So maybe we're going to do it this way because this is exactly what I wanted. But maybe I pull that extra street that we were talking about. So then I hit that area with 64083, search. It's another fast way. I should have showed there. Same thing. That's way faster.
Yeah.
And again, you can hit save search. You won't know the subdivisions as well, but that's a really fast way that I like to do it. But on top of that, you could also, I think you can do this.
Do you send mail out that you create like on Canva and have printed?
I do, yeah.
letters?
Let's do this too, though.
Do you do a bit of both?
I do a little bit. I'm not as consistent with any of it as I'd like to be, but I am. But I wanted to see this too. I wanted to show you because I think I've done this before. So now this is kind of neat too.
This is
Are we outside it? No, it's 64083 still. Are we still? Oh, you know what? I wonder. No, it doesn't say there's any zip code selected there. I don't know why that's not populated.
Is there a-
Let's select all this real quick. Your subdivision. Is it still picking all the silvers that you have?
Oh, yep, sure enough. So let's, darn it.
So like a clear all maybe?
There was on the previous, if I actually click select,
Bottom left.
I could do it there. Huh. See here.
Bottom left there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you. But now I just got, yeah, but that's fine. So then let's just do it by map. Let's do this again.
You have to
Same
put
way.
your zip or can you just draw the square now? Without putting it.
Let's try. I'm gonna do the same thing. Polygon. I'm gonna still do
Good, man. As soon as someone's looking at me, I can start typing funny. Hit spell. You know what I mean?
right. I just wanted, I liked this because you could do multiple. Oops. There's one. We're gonna come in here and do another one. We're gonna pull the same thing. A little rougher, but now that should work.
Too many.
Well, too many, but so you could either shrink your circle or you can show first 1,000, which I think is great. So most of the time we're probably going to be working on smaller scales. Yeah, you probably won't do all this, but this is just an example of like you can do little pockets. You want to pocket here, 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 and here. Well, let's just do them all at the same time. So now next time I'm doing my so maybe bulk mail, maybe you're doing 2 subdivisions instead of 1.
Thing that needs people to know about it in Creekmore, because that's in Creekmore, all Creekmore residents,
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
tell your neighbor, not your neighbor, tell your friends if they wanna live in Creekmore now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay, that's good.
so yeah, I mean that's real simple. I did.
The Creekmore is definitely one of those you don't wanna use just the subdivision search.
No. But I catch this little neighborhood a little bit. I'm just kind of curious now how many people live in there. So if I search that,
I could do like, you know, pick your next.
same thing, I guess. So show first 1,000 or shrink your bubble. You might, usually when that happens, I get in there and I'm a little more picky about like, oh, I don't really need these ones over here or whatever the case is. These are pulling outside just a little bit because technically I'm on their property line. If I just bump this over a hair, yeah. Yeah, so.
Really all that. What are the different things, Tyler?
Active, I think. Like what's active sold. Yeah,
Green
like
is active.
green is active.
Iron.
Yeah. Pre-MLS or no MLS. So you might not have any, those are probably, that's a tool in itself, right? How long have those people lived there if they're not in MLS? Or yeah, likely in Creekmore, it's their newer builds and people
Okay,
live there
that's
very
what I
long.
thought.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So you wouldn't wanna melt that.
Right, exactly. So you could probably eliminate all that, all of these.
Yeah.
There's probably the lots, the golf course in here. So this is one of those where you'd really want to play with the labels a little bit, make sure that it's not all going to the Creekmore, whatever. You could go around it. I just think it'd be a whole lot more time consuming. But that's kind of fun. That's that. The rest of it's just playing around. I think a lot of people don't take advantage of all the things Realist can do. I'm in Realist all the time. That's how I geo farm technically in Realist. Again, you saw the labels, you saw the email. You can just print these right off the bat if you wanted to. You can print the map. I'd play around with any of those. This is kind of new. I haven't played with this at all. I'm curious to know. Send postcards. I don't get this. I'm not going to create this right now, but I'm assuming it's the same as printing labels. Illuminate duplicate labels. So I'm assuming the postcards are still going to pop up as labels, but I'm not entirely sure on how that works. So that'd be something you want to play. I'd want to play with maybe 2 or 3 of those.
Actually, just click this and it takes you to a spot that'll,
You can create your postcard.
it'll, yeah, it says like 77 cents a piece.
Okay, so they'll do it for you.
Yeah, and it says you can do something or upload from the sign.
That's cool.
You hit create it, you take that 1,000 off of your 10,000.
Right, exactly. But it's per month. I'm not gonna go. I mean, the month's almost over too. But I'd play around with that maybe on like 5 or to do my direct neighborhood, just 10 people around me just to play with to see if it works. And even I might even try it for 77 cents a piece, try the 10 properties around you and then leave yourself in there to see if you get. Every time I geo farm, I always put myself in there, by the way. Whether it's that, even if I'm in the neighborhood or not, I'll just make sure
See it.
I'll make sure that I print my thumb. Yep. I do the same thing with, I use a company called Boomerang. I pair with a lender on that one. They split the cost with me and it's kind of neat. And all it does is I can't say I've directly gotten any direct business from it, but it's a campaign where it sends a big postcard out to all of my clients and past clients and people that are really close. And I think I pay like $40 a month for it because the lender pays the other half, which is kind of nice. But it's a big card, and every card that gets sent out is like buy one, get one free, or a free lunch somewhere, or whatever the case is, or a free item. And then it's just marketed between the two of us. But even though that's for all my past clients, I include myself on that as well, just because I want to make sure that I want to see it. Plus
Get
it's
your discount.
plus I want to see what my people are getting. That way, when I get a call and they say, "Hey, thanks for that," or whatever the case is, I can at least say, "Oh yeah, no problem." So, boomerang. Yeah, if you do it, make sure you talk with a lender and get them to pair in with you, because usually they'll split that cost with you. Because I use Boomerang, and I think it's is it HomeBot? If I had my computer, I'd let you know. But I think
HomeBot does.
well, I think I use the same list that I use for HomeBot, because I've given my database to the lenders and they'll set it up and they'll put all their stuff in. I'm like, you can market to all these people you want as long as you kick me in on it, but I'm committing to pay for this many and set my budget. So I update that list every once in a while because it gets kind of expensive, but.
Have people on the auto emails from MLS.
Yeah.
I posted something about it. I just kind of, have you branded it?
The auto emails?
Yeah.
Not really. What's that?
It comes through like blue, like, now, if you go out to the matrix, just like, you know how you
Oh, yeah.
go up in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Here you go up to the right side, says hello, Joe. Drop that down, go to branding, manage branding.
Oh, is this newer, or has it been this way?
Is it new? Cause I looked the other day. Now, if you look, see on that left side,
Yeah.
you see you got unbranded, that's what you're using, but click office brand, which is KW, and watch this thing change. So now it's KW colors instead of that blue.
Yeah.
And then if you wanna save it,
What is that?
that's the auto email that you're sending your,
So I might as well save this, but I'm going to go in and create my own because I like that.
and then if you go,
I didn't know I was sending that.
No. I know. Maybe.
well, if you set them up in MLS for a section for a house. Now, I also did, I described it.
Gosh, that's so much better.
You go up to the right, inlet thing. What you wanna do is figure out how to post a picture.
Crap. What I just did.
Instead of having to say JG, if you have your.
Oh, yeah.
Put your face.
I mean, I'm guessing it's all this stuff, right? Because I'm looking.
Well, that's your sample,
Where do you edit it? Matrix email. That's one home. Here's your matrix email. MLS client. That's cool.
real quick on that.
No, that's great. So I guess if we're teaching a class on geofarming, you could very well click on the email one, and they'll pay. If you want to hit the easy button, they'll pay for it, and you can just pay for it. They'll do all the work, and then you can do this because I'm guessing this is where it's pulling your branding from, right?
Let's see, want to make sure I have my picture from MLS home screen, top right. Hello, Chad. Settings. So if you go back out go to your middle on your matrix, would you have your picture? But this will show you. So hello, Joe. Then go to settings. My information.
I gotcha. So this is. I probably need
And
to play with that.
to one home.
Oh gosh,
Home.
one home.
And
That's the one. This is what they just added then.
look, say, I think your top left, I think you scroll, say, use
No
custom
photo.
If you had your picture,
Hmm.
you would upload your photo there, and then it's you smiling instead of GG.
I kind of like this. Right here. See this? So I just clicked on one home, and then here at the top. I need to get.
What is the email? For photo, the photo. Your on computer. And of course, none of this saves unless you hit save, so if you're like, we're going fast on.
Right. Oh, this is great.
Look, it's even got your team name, you can put your team name.
Yeah, team name. You can put in Facebook links.
Just wondered.
I don't want my license
You
number
don't
on there,
get
but
copies on all these one home things, and so I'm always like, is it blue? What is this? And when I started looking, it was, there's the Keller Williams colors.
so at least I saved it and I used my information, so now it's at least branded.
Yeah, so if you throw your picture in there.
Yeah, I'll upload that.
And one thing I was asking someone once, like, how do I see what the people are doing? Have you ever seen that? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
I have.
well, if you already know, like, if you
Well,
go to my matrix.
yep.
And then drop down to auto emails
Yeah.
and, just pick someone you send.
Yeah, this I have
something,
done.
Just open it on the left where it drops down.
I was just trying to see if there's one I wanted to look at right now.
Oh, okay.
My wife
Um,
is working on this right now for me.
If you just open it.
Yeah, I'm
If you
sorry.
go to open in one home.
Oh, there you
right
go.
There, then that pops up. And if your guy is, or your client is interacting with it, you'll see which ones they favorite.
Yes.
And you can go, hey man, that one on 200 Terrace, should we go see it?
Do you get a note, a message?
I have to go in there and look every day, no.
I have not seen a way for them to, the favorites to come through. I tell people that every time. I'm like, cause I'll do the same thing on your app. Like if you like it or something on your app, like I get notification if you ask a question about it, but if you just like it, I won't get notification on it. And maybe they changed that, but I haven't got anything yet.
That's out running around. They'll say something about him, like, well, just, go drive by him. So he drives by him, I see him favorite him, and then I see, that he unfavors it.
After
Nice.
it drives by.
Yeah, yeah. So if you go back to the matrix, maybe click that auto matrix one. How do we get, maybe click my matrix, go to the home screen.
What are you trying to get?
I was just gonna say on the left side, you've got an activity log.
Yeah,
That shows you the, well, maybe it's not.
well, it's all different on all your spots because you can set this up. Here's mine, my listing.
Cause mine on the left side will show that, Chad Green visited at 11 o'clock this morning.
Where do you
Chad
see that?
favorited.
Over here? News and alerts?
You'd have to go into edit dashboard and
Is mine,
move around what you're seeing, cause
I don't remember being smart enough and.
your
So-
summary thing is showing.
This one's kind of neat though. Like I just saw, so this kind of answered my question. Remember I was talking about Kurt? It shows that he's seen it. He saw it. Mm-hmm.
He's just got it pulled up closer to the top of the screen.
Yeah, because you can drag that around. Well, mine's right here. Is this what you're seeing?
Mine even says good afternoon. I don't remember setting this up. And it's
Yours looks different.
I've dragged mine around though, because you can drag, you can drag the screen around, right?
Oh, you can?
Yeah. And so edit dashboard right here.
Oh, maybe at some point I changed.
And so you can,
Oh, so when I open mine, I see, I'm going, wow, Nicholas went there at 1:40, 1:40.
pull that up.
Go on down here, you'll
My
say.
favorite searches.
Kind of listings.
Oh, look here, he discarded the problem.
You get this.
It's,
What are you under? Yours says good afternoon.
so,
Dashboard, environment.
Hot sheets.
Favorite searches. Let's see what's over here back on market.
You see what I'm doing here too? Once you hit edit up here, well, edit dashboard, you can just drag everything around. So like I've been dragging mine where I want it. And so home visits,
is there a thing called timeline? Is that what I've got over there?
there we go. So there.
Oh, so to me, if I have a new client or something, my first step is like, we were talking about what they want. and
There's
everything.
an alerts.
Um,
It won't let you,
So that,
won't let you turn it off. I wanted to drag the news and alerts all the way down, but it won't let me. I don't really care about that.
so, they show up there.
That's all I got.
Um,
Do you guys have any questions as far as farming goes? Otherwise, I'm gonna turn this off.
so
All that's super helpful. It's just little stuff, but that's my goal is these little things that we take for granted that makes life a whole lot easier. The next one that I think I'll probably do is probably on Broker Bay, and especially with multiple showings. I have little tricks on that one. You guys all know that you can put in multiple addresses and do well, and you hit directions and it'll put the fastest route for you, which is nice. That's always super handy. We'll talk about that. That's super handy, and I have little tricks to that I'll teach. A lot of it's just on, because when I do it that way, then I can time block things a whole lot easier and do them like an hour showings each if it lets me, and do like 15 minutes apart because I'm not going to see them for an hour each. And so that lets me get through things.
I don't use it as much as I should. Find I end up,
The problem is if you see it now, like this, for example, you see it now, you may not use it, but then when you do go to use it in 6 months, you're like, oh, there was a really fast way to do that. I can figure that out now. And then you'll at least remember it and you'll be able to pull it back up.
but it's because I never had any training on this when I first started.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like I don't know how to use, but like a tenth of what it does.
I mean, this stuff, I've never had training on any of this.
Yeah.
I've had to, most of it I've had to figure
I
out.
love that. Probably not even knowing I should be figuring it out. Might be part of my problem. It's like, oh, I can do that. I had no idea. I don't have to pay somebody to go do it for me.
Right. And sometimes you will. Like I use that analogy for a lot of people sometimes, a lot when, so especially talking to newer agents, telling them like, hey, there's prospecting and there's marketing, right? Both of them cost you something. Prospecting costs you time and very little money. Marketing costs you a lot more money and less time. And ideally, we're doing a little bit of both of those depending on where we are at the business. If we're brand new, we believe in lead from revenue. And so make money first before you spend a ton of money. And so it's like, well, then maybe you should be prospecting and you take the time to handwrite things if you can't figure anything else out. Or, and so I was all about saving time. Anyway, yeah, but then the business is going well. When business is going well, then it's like, okay, well, I still need to be doing this stuff, but maybe I can market it, pay somebody to do some of it. Then it becomes more marketing and less prospecting. I'm gonna log out of this. Well, that's what I got for the class. So if you guys have more questions, you've at least got a big enough overview there where you can start playing around with all those different things and really kind of hammer that out. That's what we were just talking about. All right. Take this off.
In the winter, I stay around.
I'll have that. Check. Thanks and bye.
Should be down at the bottom.
Thought so too. Oh, there it is.
It's way, I would say they're way in the